looking forward to seeing this kid. He's unbeaten in 12 contests. It's Cairo George.
George doing some good work too in terms of his selection of body shots. Sometimes he goes around the outside, behind the elbows, other times up the middle into the solar plexus.
He's working well to the body, and I think those shots might actually suck a bit of fuel out of Ferdinandus' tank for the later rounds. Yeah, nice boxing.
Yeah, both boys missing shots narrowly. That jab landed from Ferdinandus, looking to sharp shoot that straight left down the tubes. Do well to fire it. And again caught Cairo George coming in, and a step up jab. That was Nazim Hassim style. This is his game, Ferdinandus. He doesn't really care. He will do what the referee allows him to get away with.
Yeah.
But that was one of the most significant shots of the fight. He's just started to get onto a little bit of a rhythm with Cairo George, catching him coming in. George just needs to perhaps fake, and he did there. Just a little bit of faking, setting him up before he charges on in. Another round in the bank, highly likely to go to George, but a couple of good shots landed late by Ferdinandus in some of these very close nip and tuck rounds. This is round 5, the halfway mark of this title fight. There's a lot of this clashing there and nullifying each other as they're trying to get the lead leg on the outside. George the same, he's trying to slide his head on the outside of the lead hand of Ferdinandus. Nice work from Ferdinandus, picking his shots. George very composed on defense, but Ferdinandus starting off this round well. Quite an intriguing battle, Chad. They're playing a lot of chess out there.
It's very much back and forth kind of stuff. Just when you think that Fernandez is, running out of fuel, he keeps coming back, and then George will come on and land some good shots and do some very nice things, as he is doing now.
When George makes a miss, that's when he's working at his best. When he gets over-aggressive, that's where Ferdinandus starts to come into his own. Just gives him a little cuff over the ear as he shuttles out of range. This is one of the better displays of shoulder rolling from George that we've seen tonight. And again, just George caught walking in. That wasn't a stinging punch, but it was clean. Some ugly stuff on the inside. Ferdinandus, he's not afraid to engage the clinch. Oh, good little left hook there. Might have wobbled Ferdinandus. George getting frustrated now with the Indonesian fighter holding, engaging the clinch. You'll see the referees having to do a lot of work there. Ferdinandus not afraid to do some stuff on the blind side of the referee either.
Yeah, definitely. Both boys are grabbing and holding, and they're definitely earning their money tonight, but so is the referee.
Heads coming together. Referee just trying to pull the hands apart, box out. And again, that straight left came off the glove, but that right hand didn't. George, he's just getting frustrated and losing a little bit of balance there. He's trying to get the forearm engaged there. Both boys getting frustrated. Looks like we're going to lose a point here.
And this is definitely what Fernandez doesn't need. It's a very close fight. It's probably going to go down to the wire, and this is what you were talking about earlier, Mike. This could cost people fights. Well,
that round if George took it, will become a 10-8 round, and Ferdinandus needs to be very careful here. He doesn't get himself disqualified. The corner needs to get his man under control. He's very angry, and he does have a point. Cairo George did have the forearm up in there, but a lot of that was to do with who instigated the clinching in the first place.
Very close, and it's credit to George for keeping his composure. He's here to win the fight, so he's not looking to lose cheap points.
Let's see how Ferdinandus reacts now. It's pretty critical for him to keep composure. That's good work off his lead hand. Looks highly motivated now, and I'm surprised he doesn't. If he had that level of motivation throughout the whole fight, he'd be doing very well. Well, George pulled out of it. That's a little counter right hook. Well, wouldn't mind seeing a replay of that. You could legitimately call that a knockdown. Obviously, it was a flash, but referee's right on the button. Ferdinandus lands a big left hand. Well, he's doing well in this round so far. The corner's starting to get engaged as well. George doesn't want to get bought into the antics of Ferdinandus, because he starts to get tagged when he gets too keen to go forward. His game is to do what he's been doing. Fake, frustrate him, and look to counter. Both boys faking, posturing. If you're a boxing purist, you'll enjoy the interplay between these two guys. A lot of good skills on display, Chad.
There is. They're throwing, basically both fighters are throwing every punch in the book. And, this is a good round for Stevi Ferdinandus. He's working very well.
That lead hand of his, he's landed that again. When he gets that lead hand going, he actually looks to have a bit of acid on it. Uses his range. That's nice work from Ferdinandus. This is the most dominant we've seen him throughout the fight. Cairo George will need to go back and reevaluate. That point coming off has really stung Ferdinandus into life. And he's got no problem leaning down on the head of Cairo George. Good adjustment there from George. Ferdinandus now starting to counterpunch beautifully. Double up with a left hook to the body and head from George. Well, that adaptation we're talking about, we're just starting to see it from him now.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, a very good round so far by Ferdinandus. I think it's done wonders for his confidence, and definitely a Ferdinandus round.
Ferdinandus back into this fight. That was the sixth round in the bank. Couple of rounds that have been very nip and tuck. That point deduction out of the fifth could become pretty critical. And remembering this is a 10-round fight, Chad. Yeah, well, if he can just channel it like he did in that sixth round, it will serve him well. George just slipping on the canvas there. And Ferdinandus just playing a few tricks, lots of gamesmanship. George on his jab early. Ferdinandus landing that long left hand of his. George needs to be careful of his position. Cairo George in the red and black. Ferdinandus, they're fighting above us here ringside. We're being sprayed with the sweat from these two welterweight warriors. IBO Asia Pacific welterweight strap on the line. Stevi Ferdinandus in the spangly trunks. Cairo George in the red, yellow and black. Lots of head movement from both boys, making each other miss. Referee Sricharat's had a lot of work to do separating these two.
Definitely, both boys coming together a lot throughout the fight, but they've both done some very, very fine boxing in patches, and this is going to go down to the wire.
Cairo George thought of pushing the head down with the forearm. Eats another right hand there. Well, this round is another one that's looking like it's going Ferdinandus' way. Cairo George just getting a little bit impatient. That straight left is finding a home. He just takes half a pace back. George shuffles in. And again, he's not attending to his range. He's not being defensively responsible. Another left hand there from Ferdinandus.
Ferdinandus landing very well with that straight left hand. But no, that's nice from George. Nice punching.
He doubled up on the right hand again. And when he is in there, he's doing work. He's not just pausing in the pocket and admiring his shots. Looked like a little dig, a little below the belt there. Seconds ticking away. This is the 7th round. Cairo George faking there, drawing the counter from Ferdinandus, but couldn't punish him for missing. As soon as he lands that right hand, he knows the straights lefts there. He's pausing George just right on the edge of range. That was a slapping shot with the left hand. I've got to say, that's another round in the bank for Stevi Ferdinandus. This fight evening up.
Great action there in part 1. Time to go for a short break. When we return, we continue with the Roar of Singapore 2.
From your point of view, how do you solve the riddle that is a very, very long, rangy and disruptive southpaw?
Well, I think what you said early on is the way to go. Every time that George is doubled up with the right hand, he's found the mark on Fernandez. Just a matter of doing a little bit more. He's done some very good things throughout the fight, George, but that double right hand has worked practically every time.
And Fernandez has just started to get more control with his lead hand now. When he is doing well with his right hand, that's when he lands his straight left. And Cairo George just falling off balance now. Ferdinandus, once again, he's landing the long lead hand, getting control of the lead hand battle, which is leaving George with just that right hand. George frustrated now. George throwing up his hands in annoyance. Ferdinandus won't mind that at all. George just looking at the referee going, what? He's just looking noticeably fatigued now. Ferdinandus is fighting the fight at his own pace. Good straight right hand there from Cairo George. That's better from George, making Ferdinandus miss. There was a cuffing left hand, didn't really land with any sting. George pulling out of trouble. Bit of tape loose on his right glove. Referee will spot that soon. You see there, just where he managed to sneak himself out of the way, there's that straight left again. Just like to see George just change up to a left hook just to keep. There's a big left hand straight down the tubes. George now looking at the referee, and that's not good signs. And again, Ferdinandus has found his range. Just sharp shooting with that straight left. Good body work from George. Needs to get his head on the outside and his foot on the outside once again. Oh, it is an intriguing battle. George trying to get his hands free on the inside. Ferdinandus won't have any of it, ties it up.
He's boxing quite well at the moment, Ferdinandus. He's the last few rounds, he's really come on nicely. He's landing that straight left hand at will.
He's just got control of the distance there. There's better work from Cairo, George. That round's going to be harder to score. I still favour Ferdinandus unofficially, of course. These final 2 rounds absolutely critical. That tape's still loose on George's glove. There's a nice little right hand as Ferdinandus tried to turn the corner. Ferdinandus being a little more aggressive now. George on the back foot. Referee's spotted the tape coming off both gloves. You have to say that he's actually responded well to that point being taken off. His performance, Chad, has become far sharper.
Definitely something Rocket definitely got planted, and Stevi Ferdinandus has come on strong ever since that point got deducted. But as I said, these 2 rounds are very important for both fighters. The scorecards are very close. And Stevie, I think Stevie's got a real spring in his step. He can taste, that he's close to pulling this off.
Well, it's the rhythm, isn't it? You can feel the ebbs and flows of rhythm in a fight. Ferdinandus just seems to have found his groove. Cairo George just slightly out, although he did start this round well. This is round 9 of 10. Cairo George, red, yellow and black. Stevi Ferdinandus, red, green and silver. The lead hand battle starts again. Both boys, long, deep stances, looking to draw the mistake. There's that straight left again, just range there from Ferdinandus. Good defensive work there. George can't get frustrated by that. It was, for the most part, legitimate. Nice little counter right hook there. Answered in kind by George. These guys just going punch for punch at the moment. That's beautiful work there from Ferdinandus. Plenty of byplay. This is what we like to see from these boys. And again, that straight left. You know what it is, Chad? It's the southpaw solution, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Solving the puzzle that a southpaw provides. That's a push. Oh, his confidence is rising. And Cairo George just on a low ebb. He needs these rounds badly. Ferdinandus is now setting the tone with his rhythm. He's causing George to pause. And he's being first to initiate.
Yeah, Ferdinandus is coming on strong. His confidence is high at the moment. And but George is he's still there. He's hanging in there. So,
The frustrating thing is you saw it there with Ferdinandus. He'll land something and then he'll tie you up. He doesn't allow you to steal the point back. And that's one of the changes in the fight. Earlier on, George was landing punches and bunches and able to flow with his hands. Rabbit punches from both these boys. It's not pretty to watch, but it's intriguing. Nice head movement there from Cairo George. Well, plenty of entertainment. The crowd are enjoying it. Both boys showing a clean pair of heels and good eyes. Cairo George got a big job to do now. Everything on the line. 10th and final round. This is the IBO Asia Pacific welterweight strap. The final round, still everything to fight for. You notice how George is shoulder rolling and then he's shuffling to his right? That's where that left hand's catching him. He hasn't adjusted there. Their heads came together there for a moment. Good little step up jab. But George needs to get his head on the outside of the lead hand of Ferdinandus and try and slide his right hand in the middle. When he's drifting to his right, that's why the left hand's landing. Good half-beat jab. Ferdinandus, he's just, you can see his posturing, he's confident. George trying to find a way through. That left hand missed, I think. Referee had his hand around Cairo George's throat. He won't have appreciated that. Those punches all missing, but in the judge's mind, that's aggression from Ferdinandus. This fight is on a razor's edge. There hasn't been a lot landed clean in this round, but what has been landed has been Ferdinandus. George starting to buy in. Ferdinandus, the salesman, is doing a good job. That was half-hearted from George, not a lot of pepper on it. Halfway through this, the 10th round, it's the final round for this welterweight title. Nice little left hook from Cairo George. The left hand of Ferdinandus missed rather. Well, this is such a hard round to score, Chad. Both of these boys aren't really engaging, not throwing caution to the wind. It's more of a chess match and gamesmanship. There's Ferdinandus. He's a little bit of NRL, a little bit of MMA with his twisting and turning. He's got more tricks than a magician in there.
Doesn't seem to be either fighter is not being too dominant in the final round, which is unusual. I thought both fighters would come out on fire and give it everything.
I think George might think he's that point of his might have given him the edge ahead. Ferdinandus, well, someone needs to take him back to the asylum and put him in the straitjacket. He's certainly entertaining.
Judge 1 has it 95 to 94. Judge 2 has it 97 to 92. And Judge 3 has it 97 to 92. All in favour.
Well, the scores were a little wider than I might have thought, but Stevi Ferdinandus, he came back in the latter half of that fight, probably pitched a shutout through round 6 to 10, and boy, is he happy.
Well, I'm very happy for him, Mike. He's worked very hard. He's as you can see, he's a likeable guy. Full credit to Cairo George, fought his heart out tonight, and who would be surprised if a rematch happens? But full congratulations to Stevi Ferdinandus. He fought very well, mate, and I'm extremely happy for him and his camp.
Well, Stevi Ferdinandus, he takes home the IBO strap. Steve Scott wrapped that round his waist, and I think he's going to be partying long into the night. Coming up next, our 6th professional bout of the evening will be the UBO Intercontinental Super Welterweight strap.